Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's live stream. Let's go over the relevant pivots on this chart. As of this video, I'm no longer going to reference the 605 period mean reversion condition, as it is finally completed. And because of that, well, we can get sustainable trend outside of it. So 4-hour chart has very little active information that we can use. So with that in mind, well, we got to go to lower time frames to define trend. So what's nice is we have this nice compressionary period followed by significant trend. And that typically generates clear readings on Wave PM. Nope, they're actually kind of muddy. Never mind. We're going to have to manually load them. So here we have our just a flat 200 period. Beautiful. So it is the 200 period that is defining trend on the 1-hour chart. And with that in mind, that's clean. It's really clean. Because we actually have two conditions here. One is the overarching condition of the initial expansion here, which is the mean reversion condition as defined by the 200 band, which, as you can see, has supported price rather nicely. We had a bounce at 10.0530, which perfectly touched the locks and is well supported. And now for our current condition, we have the 70 period, which I will now adjust. And that is actually our current compressionary period. And what's nice is that's just a great condition. 70 period, okay. So active mean reversion condition on the shorter TF. That's important to note. Now, it means that price needs to touch this line, or at least just go sideways here a little bit longer, okay? So trend is still defined by the 200 period, but by the 70 period, we are technically in a state of compression. And how's this tradable information? Okay, so our target is currently below our mean reversion pivot. And there was a time where I would just immediately call that bearish, right? Because if we are implied to go down to this mean, then that means the activation of this condition will occur, which implies we'll go down to this mean, which is just toppling mean reversion conditions. However, due to the aggressive nature of trend, lateral mean reversion is just as profitable and probable, for that matter, where price can go sideways, mean can travel up to meet price, and even the mean reversion condition can fully evaporate before it ever gets a chance to complete, right? Since if this value here goes to below 0.7, which is represented by the color green, that's our ideal scenario, really. Because that would allow price to remain in a compressionary state. And I would actually predict that we are going to stay between this pivot here and this pivot here, right? We're going to get a very tight compressionary range, possibly some wicks to the upside or to the downside to accrue for liquidity for whichever way we finally decide to pop. And then, well, as soon as that compressionary period is completed, we'll either activate the longer term compressionary period or see trend continuation, okay? And I cannot predict one or the other, not until it actually happens, you know? We can either get comprehensive net expansion on a lower time frame, which would appear as just net compression across the board, potentially retracements down to 10,500, right? Trend is still defined on a more macro TF, even if that would occur. So, care is recommended. Okay. But, you know, if we were to compare this to previous price action in markup periods, let's put these side by side, right? Because legs of the bull run, I'm interested to see how they'll behave. Because I don't want to be forced to do some partial profit taking, but it might be necessary. You never know. And I think what's really important is identifying the volume readings. As far as just static price action goes, these two sections are the most similar. And I'll zoom in on them. Nice. So we have significant trend. We have significant trend. All right. With a brief sell-off for continuation. Brief sell-off for continuation. Followed by initial high. High volatility. With a failure on the second attempt. Just here and here. With a compressionary mean reversion condition. Followed by wicks to the downside. And eventually, sustainable trend with increasing bullish volume. So the scenario where we just end up compressing sideways is quite appealing. So really, as far as prediction goes, I like what we see on that 1 hour chart. I would expect price just to compress and do nothing. And what's important to note is if we can't anticipate a compressionary period on Bitcoin, then we can anticipate alts to recover as well. So I am going to be inclined to play some altcoin positions this week because we have a lot of quote-unquote oversold signals. Trading this channel is really fun on GVT, I will admit. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. You know, can we draw the falling wedge? I mean, we might as well. It's better to try to catch these swing lows when you're actually at a relative extreme value. But everything is overexpanded, so it's, you know, it's hard to actually make a call out on that kind of thing. But whenever we do get every value above 0.9, we do get a short-term reversal. I might call this. The trend line is nice. It's really high risk, though, because you're betting against trend. But, you know, these kind of falling wedge structures, it can be nice. There's no really top trend line that I'm visibly aware of. And it doesn't really match with my strategy at all. Oh, no, never mind. The 4 hour's good. So whenever we get, I'll just draw it out here for you. Yeah, as soon as your CCI weighting starts to roll back to center, while you have significant mass, we could play this. Just a short scalp. Hell, that's 27% upside. What is this? Jesus. Okay, well, I'm actually going to put some more thought into this. We have a super obvious trend line, which I'm not comfortable with, but it has over 4 points of contact. And when you have that significant... Well, hold on. Okay, now that we're on the shorter time frame, we can actually draw it correctly. Nice. Okay, so this candle here is really interesting because there's the high liquidity sell-off right there. What's it caused by? Well, you have an obvious trend line with obvious stop losses, so there's significant selling pressure, and now we're testing the trend line from below. I'd be interested in actually buying this. I just want some kind of confluence that's actually in alignment with volatility theory. Technically would have been here on this candle, but we did fall through. You know, any kind of recovery back to previous norms is a huge gain, but it's just so volatile. Like, watch this. If you were to buy on here, just a stop loss by the local is 5%, but your upside is 35%. It's tempting. Let me check the YouTube comments. See if there's any coins they want me to look at. Nope. Cool. That's fine. Quiet day. Bitcoin dominance is just astonishingly high, and I'm not inclined to. I want to see some kind of bullish reversal first. I also super inclined to bag hold some Doge right now. I really want to buy it. It's just such a good cyclical coin. It's going to require some crazy patience, but like, just recognize you're going to probably need to bag hold for like up to a 50% or 40% drop and several months. Yeah, if you buy in now, eventually, because it is Doge, it will reverse, and you could see upward at 3x. I would recommend dollar cost averaging, actually. That's probably the safest bet. Just be aware you're going to draw down your portfolio an unsafe amount. These are risks you need to be willing to take. We just have this beautiful range here at the bottom, and you want to sell the beautiful range here at the top, right? Goodness. Yeah. 4x. Yeah, you can expect a 4x, eh? That's good. Probably just buy in now and then set a static sell order at 100 sats, and then buy myself a vacation. Ooh. Well, there's really no reason for you not to take a position in this, guys. I mean, if you're risk averse, well, you probably shouldn't be trading cryptocurrency anyway. Let it be known. Everything else, charts are really bad, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to take a look at Link real quick. Hmm. 4-hour actually is a clean over expansion, so we can analyze this. Let's see what it registers as. Actually, it's converse expansion. Who am I kidding? It's bad. Quad CCI implies down. It's based on the 4-hour chart. Just waiting for a cat to load. Dobie, hurry, come here. Of course. Conditions already complete. So there's nothing I can do with this chart, really. I would expect a lower low. Stay safe. Yeah, that's a huge drop, too. Just be careful. Know your risks. All right. That's it for today. It has been a pleasure. I will talk to you all tomorrow at 1 p.m. MST. You have a beautiful day.